Hi everyone, welcome to Sports Wrap. Bound to be higher ratings this week because somebody new to look at. Ian McVey is joining us in studio. So hi Ian.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me on here.
Ian is a Spartan basketball player, soon to be a Utah State Aggie.
I was asking about this shirt business, and I don't know if he hasn't done his laundry for a year or what, but he should be a Spartan shirt somewhere.
Yeah, he would think so.
Goodness sakes.
Much better looking shirts, these ones.
Yeah, right. You do like those sand ones? We got different colors for the buddies this year. So.
Well, Ian is wearing that shirt for a specific reason. He has given verbal commitment to Utah State University, a Division I basketball team out in Logan, Utah, and Division I college, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Recruiting process, kind of an interesting one. Did you have some fun out there?
Yeah, go out to eat all the time, and it's wine and dine you pretty much, everything. Anything you want to do, basically. Went paintballing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shot the assistant coach.
Yeah, shot him in the head.
There went your scholarship.
What kind of turned the tide toward Utah State in your mind, Ian?
Well, first of all, I mean, they've been in the NCAA tournament, you know, lately. And just the coach was the main thing. I really liked him. He's a big man himself, so, you know, the offense will, you know, and plus, I was probably their top recruiter somewhere up there, you know, so I thought, you know, could make an impact going there, too.
Did you surprise yourself that you made up your mind so soon? You had an opportunity to go other places and take a look as a visitor to different campuses. Did it surprise you that you settled on a college so soon?
Well, yeah, I mean, you think it'd be so much fun. I mean, it is fun, too, but they have every second planned. You know, they're always, you know, they have an itinerary, and they pretty much follow it to the minute. And you miss so much school, and you get far behind, and I like the school, and, you know, I couldn't ask for much more out of the school, and so might as well just commit to them, let the recruiting stop for them, and make sure I have a scholarship.
Do you feel that you're one of the top recruits or the top recruit of a Division I team that been in the NCAA tournaments? Were you in a better position after playing 1 year here than you would have been being recruited directly out of high school, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, out of high school, I got a couple low Division IIs wanted me pretty much to walk on, basically, is what they, you know, nothing. And after 1 year at the Fergus at CC here, just, you know, I had any Division II school I wanted to go to, and you know what.
Why do you feel that changed for you?
Well, just matured more, one more year, better coaching, you know, better players, got exposed a little more.
Better guard play.
A little better guard play.
That helps, huh?
Yeah, I think Ian had, I think we figured, well, it was 25 Division I contacts at least. And of course, the camp was a big exposure help to you. But yeah, the boat really set sail and left the Division IIs behind in Ian's case. At one point, they weren't showing any interest at all or very little, and now it's a situation where you're having those opportunities. And I think I've told you too, that it's very rewarding to have a situation where, you know, we talk about this with Ian at the school or at home or wherever, and you talk to recruits about this, that you will have options in 2 years or whatever, and to see them fulfilled in such dramatic fashion as Ian's case, you know, that's very rewarding, and that's really what, you know, we claim we want to do that, and we claim we want to help do that. So whenever it occurs, it's really nice.
You won't be telling this story to any of the kids you recruited in the future, will you?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Once Ian signs, we'll get his picture plastered all over the state of Minnesota, and we'll go from there.
Spartan poster boy here.
Ian, I'm sure you are paid well to say that the improved coaching was part of your success story. I wanted to ask you, what do you think was Coach Retzlaff's biggest mistake in coaching last year during the season?
You've just been waiting for this, haven't you?
Not playing me more.
Yeah, there's one. I agree.
We start practice Monday, Ian. You're out. I am still the head coach, remember that.
3 years, yeah.
So.
Well, this is exciting for you, exciting stage in your in your career and certainly in your young life to have that opportunity. And is it going to help you to focus on the business at hand now in your sophomore year, to know that that part of the recruiting effort is behind you? You don't have to sit and consider it all year?
Yeah, I mean, I can go out and just have fun. Don't have to worry about, you know, how well I play that night for a scout or whatever, and don't come home to 15 messages on my answer machine or whatever, you know. Can just basically go out and have fun, and that's what it's all about, basically.
You might want to fill folks in on who is the head coach at Utah State and what conference are they in, and who are some of the other folks in their conference?
It's head coach is Stu Morrill. He's been there 2 years, 3 years. He just came from Colorado State, went there. They're in the Big West Conference right now, but they might be going into the WAC. That's probably the most likely one in the next couple of years sometime. They don't know for sure just because they've dominated the Big West so much, and the other conference teams like to get them out of there, basically. And trying to think of some teams that Cal Poly's in that conference. Pacific, which I visited, is in that conference. Trying to think of some other.
That's the Big West you're talking about.
Yeah, this is the Big West.
If they move into the WAC, then they're in with what? UNLV, are they in there? And
They're in with, that's Hawaii and
BYU.
Fresno State?
No, BYU's in the Mountain West.
Oh, they are, okay.
Oh.
They're in the WAC in football? Or they were? I don't know. UTEP?
Not sure.
El Paso, are they?
Maybe. I'm not sure who's all in that one. Marshall, I think, maybe is in that one.
I think so. I think they are.
Yeah. Those conferences change around so much. What'd you think of the area? The state of Utah is a very pretty state.
Yeah, I mean, there's mountains. It's just, I mean, like I was saying, it just looks fake almost. You look out in the background and there's mountains, and you can see animals up there. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Mountains and Mormons, they say.
Yeah. And then,
You saw animals up there?
I think I saw a goat running around up there when I was walking.
a mountain goat.
A mountain goat?
Yeah, it was something. It was all white, and I don't know. Maybe it's a person running around up there. I don't know.
Besides your zoology major, what are you?
How are you going to pursue education?
I'm not for sure yet. I'm going to get my AA here, but more I go along, the more I think I'm going to go change into something more business. I originally thought I was going to go into something like pre-med, but I just don't have any interest in it anymore, really. Plus it's hard.
A few chemistry classes will knock the interest right out.
Yeah. Well, Ian originally was interested in chiropractic, and he came to Fergus and did an internship basically with Randy Carlson, and that was a very positive thing in terms of finding out, you know, what the whole situation is about. But we had some conversation that, you know, there's what's the school, that chiropractic school?
Oh, Life.
Yeah,
Life University.
Life University basketball program, and of course, if you're looking at chiropractic, there aren't too many schools that focus on basketball. And so the discussion was that perhaps, you know, you can put chiropractic on the back burner if you want and see where the basketball thing takes you at this point, what opportunities are out there. And Ian could basically go through Utah State in 2 more years or 3 more years or whatever it takes after here, and then still go back and do the chiropractic. So it still would be an option if you wanted to. But
Life isn't a Division I program.
NAIA Division I.
Yeah, yeah, and they've had some success, I think.
Yeah.
But you know, we gave them a call, and they didn't really have too much response. They sounded excited. I just made a contact for you, and we never really did get any materials from them. Nothing. So that's their loss at this point.
I emailed them and told them I was going to be at that camp I went to, and never got anything from them. Nothing.
Tell us a little about the camp and how much you think that did for your recruiting.
Well, the camp is basically you just go and you play. They have other junior college players and coaches that are there, and you just go and play in front of the scouts. There's roughly 300 to 400 scouts. From every Division I was there, and a lot of Division IIs were there. And
When and where was it?
Tulsa, Oklahoma, at Oral Roberts University.
Oh, sure.
Who were some of the people you recognize, head coaches?
Well, Bobby Knight was there, Tubby Smith was there, Roy Williams was there. Those are probably the 3 big ones. And then there's, you know, countless assistants. I mean, I saw Duke's assistant there. I mean, I mean, you name the college, they were there, basically. Not that they're recruiting everybody, but they're just there for sure. And after that camp, I came home that night. Before I even got home, I had about 5 messages on the answer machine, and that I basically owe everything to that camp in terms of exposure-wise.
And the better coaching.
Yeah, and better. Well, I mean, yeah.
Sort of slides down the scale.
Never forget where you came from, Ian.
Princeton.
An old adage. Princeton, yeah, right.
What has the reaction been around campus here and around your hometown and people that you've known for years and played with?
Well, they're all happy for me. They're kind of wondering why I didn't hold out, you know, just to see, just to see what happened or why I wasn't going to give the Gophers more interest or whatever. But they all look positive, I guess. And my hometown, I mean, told one person, and well, the whole town knew when I got home.
When we actually have the signing date, we hope to publicize that and get releases out on that too.
What is the signing date?
I think now it's been moved up from like November 15th. I think it's been moved up a week.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
So
Are you the first person to get a Division I basketball scholarship from Princeton?
Yeah, pretty sure. But I think I can only think of like a couple of Division I athletes, period, out of there.
Oh.
So.
Ian mentioned the Gophers, and people might be wondering about that situation. We did get a contact from Kansas State too, and responded to them, but they never did follow up too much. But when we had the terror attack, that was right in a time when the Gophers were looking to bring some people in too. And I had called down there and talked to Munson and visited with him, and at that time, some of the people had to cancel visits, of course, so they had time then to come up and watch Ian play and whatever. And they basically said that when he called back to me, and probably Ian, you heard the same thing, that they definitely felt he was a Division I recruit, but they were not going to be looking to sign any two-year school players in the early signing period. Of course, they're building and trying to put things together, you know, right now with high school people. Now, they would probably have liked to have had Ian wait and go until spring and then see if there were any opportunities there too, and that's something that Ian had to certainly balance out. But there were some factors that really came down to be a key, I think, for you, weren't there, as far as, well, one thing, you sprained your ankle a few days before you were going out to Utah, and that was kind of perspective too, wasn't it?
I mean, that could have been my ACL. It could have been broken leg or something. I mean, who knows? And if you wait till late, you may not have a scholarship afterwards, and maybe not anywhere.
And now, basically, if he gets hurt, he'll still have a scholarship. And that was the understanding I'm sure they gave you too.
Yeah.
So you helped Ian quite a bit with his decision and help him make contacts and weigh the contacts and
you do that, and yet by the same token, and Ian knows this too, you have to make sure that you aren't influencing that decision-making process too much. And but I think you want to explore all options and all avenues. You know, like, don't commit too soon right on a visit, because everybody will try to get you to sign right away. When Ian first started the process, I think you weren't considering a red shirt at all. And, you know, you didn't want to sit out that year. Now, I think you feel you'll look at the situation at Utah State and decide if that's the best situation. And, you know, what did they tell you about the red shirt? You share that.
Well, they didn't know for sure. I mean, they kind of want me to, they said if I was going to start, they want me to start 2 years basically, and they like to redshirt me if not, but they said I got a better chance of not redshirting than redshirting, but I got to get my weight up. I mean, their little 5'10" point guard can bench 300 pounds. Their whole team basically can bench 300 pounds.
And you're at what?
I can squat 300 pounds, probably.
Yeah.
And you do every day.
Yeah.
That's getting up from the squat. That's the problem, right?
So
Turn vicious.
you were kind of in charge of trying to get the most benefit for Ian as you could in the process.
I'm not talking to you anymore after that.
And if you turn
The
around,
answer is yes.
you turn around and your shirt says, "I had Coach Retzlaff help me." All I got was his darn T-shirt.
Yeah, well, it's a matter of working together and just trying to see how things fall into place. And it's, I guess, one of the main things I just told Ian was that You check out, the academics and the basketball and all this other thing, but I think one of the crucial things has to be the people. The coaches you're going to work with, and the coaches, you're going to basically spend the next 2 or 3 years with those people in such a close relationship. You better like them. You better have a good feel for it, and you don't go out and see a nice facility and and they show you a nice weekend on your visit. But if you don't like the style or the approach of the coaches or whatever, it can be a long, it can make your choice not seem too positive afterwards.
Your trip to the University of Pacific, you kind of felt that way, didn't you? That was not a place you wanted to be.
No, I mean, it was fun and everything, and like I said, if you don't have fun on your visit, they messed up big time.
Yeah.
If you're ever going to have fun, that's it, right?
But yeah, I mean, I just couldn't really see myself going to school there if I wasn't playing basketball, or just didn't have a feel for it. I mean, you really get a feel for school.
Well, we certainly wish you well, and hopefully we can get you to New York this year, too, for a national tournament action, huh?
I would think one other thing that helps you, when you're making this decision in your second year of a community college, as opposed to making the decision early in your senior year of high school, I would guess you're better able to make the right decision for yourself because of that 2 years of experience in finding the right place.
Yeah, I mean, out of high school, those, like I said, some of those Division II schools that talk to me, I mean, they don't owe you anything. They talk to you until they realize they don't want you, then they just pretty much stop calling, don't give you any notice. So that's what, you don't feel bad when you turn down other colleges. Now, I mean, if you're not interested in them, just tell them straight out you're not interested in them.
Sure.
The approach we have is that we would tell Ian when we're sitting with him as a high school senior, 2 years, education-wise, can be your best start, but it's also like you're buying time, for that exposure and for development and so forth. Yeah, you do buy time.
Sure.
And you can be recruited at a higher level after 2 years, obviously, than you can after being a high school senior.
Has Ian made as much or more progress in his first year of community college ball as anybody that you've ever had at the community college?
Well, he certainly has made a lot of progress. I don't know if I'd focus on that. The thing that I like to focus on is where he's going to be, after this year, and in 2 years after that, or 3 years after that. He could, play for us as a sophomore, and then play 2 years at Utah State, or he could redshirt one in there, and now we're talking 3 or 4 years down the road. And if he puts on 30 pounds and gets strong, like I've told the coaches, I've never had anyone with an upside like this young man has in terms of what he could do and where he could be. And, Ian could have the opportunity to play for money someday. That's what we've said, But, you may not ever do that either. But I think, that could be a possibility somewhere down the line, because when you're talking about someone that's competitive like he is, number two, athletic like he is, and 6'9.5" like he is.
Yeah, that helps.
Those are some pretty good qualities, and can run and move. Oftentimes you see, people that are slow in that situation.
They plod.
But But you're how Ian for right now. Ian you're what, 19 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a puppy.
Yep.
Kind of a mongrel, actually.
Yeah. So all you basketball fans out there, Ian needs food this winter, okay? We got to fatten him up a little bit. So when you come to Spartan games,
Spartan food
bring
shelf.
food.
McVey
Yep.
food shelf.
There you go. Well, thanks for coming in. Do you have any baseball opinions on the playoffs you want to share with us before we ask you to step out?
I don't know. The Braves will probably do really well this year.
The Braves?
Yeah, they're good. They make it every year.
They're getting old.
Experience.
Don't argue with the guess. Jeez.
Yeah.
What?
You ask him a question, he gives you his opinion, then you jump down the guy's throat. Give him a break.
Yeah, came here to.
Hey, we treated him well for the first 20 minutes. I mean, that's a long time for you guys to treat
What do
anybody.
you mean, us guys? Chris and I, we treated
I'm
him
rubbing
well the
off.
entire time.
I'm rubbing off.
Does Ian have any problem with either of us? I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't want to embarrass you guys by asking him that. So.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, Ian, you can go back to class.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kicking you out now.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me on.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Ian.
Just hand Bonnie the mic on the way out. And
Don't move. You can't move. You screw up the
it's like she's
camera.
got to come and
Yeah.
position the cameras now.
Anyway,
Yes, baseball. Baseball. Playoffs start today. It's Tuesday. We're taping as the Astros and
I've got my picks.
Braves are getting underway. Yeah. Retz gave us his last week. I forgot him. Did you forget him too?
I hope. If I did, it was intentional. The Astros over the Braves.
yeah.
The D-backs.
How many games are going games?
Just don't interrupt. The D-backs over the Cardinals.
That could be a great series.
And then I will go with Seattle over Cleveland and Oakland over the Yankees.
That's what I had.
Fine. Good.
You just took my cue, didn't you?
I'm going to go with Oakland.
That's what you always say.
You want to control the other people here at the table. Oakland over Seattle.
Really?
Houston over the Diamondbacks.
Really?
Houston to win it all.
Wow.
Ooh.
And your argument for this case?
Oakland or the Houston pitching, and their offense.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with them going there. I like Oakland.
I know you do.
I could see them coming, just like you said. And it's a tough call. That could probably be a 7-game series.
It'd be a fun series. I think those teams would be very even.
Yeah.
I picked Houston because I seem to remember you picked Oakland.
I picked Oakland.
Yeah, and I didn't want to pick the same team you did.
I did pick Oakland in 7.
Well, you're going Mr. Olson then on this.
Well, I would love to see Oakland do it, but
I'm asking what you'd love.
I know.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think the Yankees are going to beat Oakland, unfortunately. I would love to see Oakland do it. But
Okay.
I think the Yankees are going to find a way, as they often do in October, to get the win. I think the Rocket is going to be the Rocket.
Rocco's a little fizzly there.
Yeah,
at the end of the season.
but you know, now it's money time, it's playoff time. He'll be the Rocket.
I've never gotten excited about guys like turning on when they have to. You know what?
You haven't?
Why don't you
As
do
a
it all
basketball
the time?
coach?
Why don't you do it all the time?
Hey, you're telling me Clemens doesn't do it all the time? The guy's 20-3.
You're saying turn it on.
Yeah, there's another level at playoffs, Retz. You know that. I mean, you've seen that year after year with your Spartan basketball team. You have guys who play all year, but then at playoff time, they even play better, right?
Just play better all the time.
So you're picking the Yankees to win the AL
I'm picking the Yankees to beat Oakland.
and to beat who else?
I'm picking Seattle to win their series with Cleveland.
Okay.
And I believe the Yankees will find a way to beat Seattle. I think the Yankees will be in the World Series again.
And?
I'd like to see either Oakland or Seattle. But
But on the other side.
on the National League side, I think this first series between St. Louis and Arizona is going to be as fun a series to watch as we're going to have, because you have power against power. You got the Cardinals with some tremendous offensive weapons if McGuire's healthy, hopefully.
Hitting 129.
Yeah, but he's got the long ball. You know, Earl Weaver, give me a 3-run homer.
Yeah.
And then Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling, and what matchups? You know, that's going to be fun to see how.
Should
And I
be
think
able
the
to
Cardinals have beaten the Diamondbacks like 4 out of 6 times this year.
Don't you think they got too much pitching, Craig, Arizona, for the Cardinals? I mean, you get Schilling and Johnson.
No
in a
question,
short-
but
in a
can
series.
Arizona score enough runs? You know, because they don't have a great offense. They really don't. They don't score a lot
You
of
don't
runs.
need to
only
score
need
many
2.
runs with Johnson and
Well, but you look at Morris and Kyle and Woody Williams, who've had pretty good years, and I like Morris and Kyle. I especially like Kyle, I think, at playoff time. He's a veteran. So I think St. Louis has some decent pitching.
Low-scoring series.
It will be, and Arizona, if they don't get some runs, they're going to be in trouble. So,
Well, that's not going on, I would say, any team.
well, yes, but I mean, Johnson and Schilling can only do so much. They can't score runs for their team. Well, they can try to, I guess.
how about Houston and Atlanta?
I like Houston. I think the Braves are too weak offensively, and I don't think their bullpen is very good.
And then in the championship for the
I'm picking Arizona. Arizona to meet the Yankees and beat the Yankees.
Arizona to win it
Arizona
all.
win it.
Yes.
So we got Arizona, Houston, Oakland.
Houston.
I think it's going to be a fun postseason.
Since we talked last, some pretty exciting things happened in the baseball season, didn't they?
Yeah.
Wow. What a
Kind
finish.
of, I guess I owe John a buck. I didn't think he'd break the record.
Uh-oh.
But the thing that impressed me, not only did he break the record for homers, he set an all-time record for walks and an all-time record
Yeah.
for slugging average.
Yes.
Set by Babe
Just
Ruth in what,
destroyed it.
1920
Destroyed it.
maybe, or
1920.
21? Okay, that was his big year with 59 homers. Wow.
That's incredible.
Wow.
And he felt that's the one that wouldn't be broken. He said, someone will hit.
And you can't do that
74.
just with home runs.
No.
You've got to get a lot of, you got to have a high batting average, and you got to have some doubles and triples.
Yeah. Well, the thing that amazes me, two things amaze me. Bonds, like I think I said last week, is not a typical home run hitter. You just don't think of him as a prolific power hitter. Last year he hit 49. That was his previous high as a major leaguer. Now he hits 73. The thing that I think of Bonds as is an extra base guy, a gap, hitter, line drive hitter, a lot of doubles, high average. But now all of a sudden he's quite a power
Of course,
hitter.
now that I think about it, since slugging percentage is total bases divided by at-bats, and if you have 173 walks or whatever you end up with, that takes away from your at-bats,
Sure.
official at-bats, and then you add on the 73 homers. Yeah, it starts to make sense why his slugging would have set a record.
The other thing that amazed me about what Bonds did is he was seeing 1 or 2 pitches a night that he could take out of the ballpark. And when he saw them, he did that. He
You'd
took
think
it out
it
of the
would
ballpark.
take him by surprise to get a
I
pitch.
think
was
he
so
would have gotten
focused.
over-anxious.
Yeah.
You really would.
But he was so
Shows
focused.
a lot of discipline
Yep.
on his part. I have to give him credit.
It was amazing when they interviewed him. The arms on that guy, he's
Yeah.
huge. He is huge. And obviously he's gotten bigger as he's gotten older, but yeah, that was quite a show.
Maybe you could play offensive line for the Vikings.
probably
They could
could.
use some
Hey,
help, I
good
guess.
idea. Now, is he 37 or 38?
I heard 8, but I don't know.
Is it 38 now? Okay. That's
I think it's
incredible, too.
38.
And that's amazing. The other
Don't even talk about Ricky. I don't want to hear about it.
The other occurrences in the past week. Ricky, all-time run scorer. What is the deal with guys like Ty Cobb, Pete Rose, Ricky Henderson, the guys that you just don't like? They're productive.
Part of their aggressiveness, stolen bases
Must
and
be.
whatever,
Yeah. I mean, Cobb, he was not liked at all by his peers or
Henderson,
anybody.
other than his throwing arm, you got to give him credit. He is a tremendous ball player.
Oh, yeah, catalyst. You want him at starting top of your lineup.
And I still love his record, that as far as one that's not going to be touched, of
Leadoff
what, 70 leadoff homers, 70 something, or whatever it is.
Don't say
Leadoff
that. Don't
homers.
say that won't be touched.
Oh, it's not going to be. I think that's as.
Sure, they
I
thought
think
that
that's,
about 61 homers and
Oh, right.
2,130
And you should
consecutive
think
games.
about Joe DiMaggio's record.
That's the one I think won't be
Yeah.
touched.
I think Henderson's tougher than that.
What do you think the most
Where you
unreachable
gonna-
record is?
Didn't we talk about this?
I don't think so.
Where are you going to find a
Cy
leadoff
Young.
hitter that's going to hit whatever it is, home run? I don't know the number, but 70,
Yeah.
80 home
A lot.
runs. You're not.
No.
I mean, they're little guys.
Cy Young, 511 wins.
That's probably I was thinking hitting, but yeah, that's probably
Oh.
the #1 record. Nobody will ever come close to that.
I don't see it.
No.
The game's going the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, less starts, less opportunities to win 20 games. And that's kind of amazing this year. There are a lot of 20-game winners this year. More than I think we've had in the last couple of years. A lot, and guys that you kind of go, what?
Here's another stunner for me. Corey Koski, the first Twin to have 25 homers, 100 runs scored, and 100 RBIs since
Gary Addy.
Harmon Killebrew
Harmon
in
Killebrew.
1969.
Wow. I love that stat.
Yeah, that was amazing to me.
And he was the first third baseman in history with 25 homers, 25 steals, and 100 runs batted in.
He's on his way to the Hall of Fame. I got him for $13 in a fantasy league.
I was
What
bidding
a
against
deal.
you.
They're manager of the year again.
I got
All
it
right.
right.
He's impressive.
Ninth place? No, 11th place. Excuse me, out of 12.
Well, we have 30 seconds in which to wrap this up. We can't even talk bikes right now. We had a nice visit with Ian McVey. Thank you, Retz, for bringing him in. Appreciate that.
And he is a tremendous young man. I mean, he's a top shelf, just a great kid and a nice player.
What impressed me is he knew how to say the right things.
That's right. He's an example of why you're coaching, right? That's the why you're coaching, right there. So you can work with those young guys.
Those guys make coaches look good.
That's right. And it's hard to make him look good. But
Yeah.
no, thanks. We'll look forward to next week. We'll update the baseball stuff and talk a little bikes and whatever else is happening in sports. So thanks for joining us. And